The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.NikkiClarkeNetwork.com.
Right, welcome back to the show. Sitting beside me is a financial planner. Please welcome Sonia Dolar to the show. Welcome. You look lovely. I love this color.
Thank you very much, and it's great to be here. We met actually a few months ago, and it was through Lena.
Yes.
Very happy to be here.
Yeah. Lena, let's make some noise for Lena here. Stilettos and Hammers founder. Thank you so much for coming. So tell us a little bit about your background.
So I am a resident of East York, and I actually came to Toronto to come to university. I took economics. I am married with Victor. He's in the audience here. I have 2 children. And
Victor's waving.
like I don't recognize him. I have an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old. Very challenging, and they're both very different. And it's also, they're my little test cases too. So I'm a soccer mother, a hockey mother, and spent a lot of time actually with the group of soccer moms, and discussed a lot of things. Financial planning is one of them as well too.
Okay. How long have you been doing it?
For 20 years.
20 years.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make it work? The financial planning, the busy home. How do you keep it together? How do you manage it?
Well, I think financial planning, it's always been a part of what I like to do. I grew up having the responsibility of listening to the market report at 12 o'clock. And I had to do listen for the soybean prices, so listen to the commodities and find out.
Why soybean?
Why soybeans? Because my parents actually decided to buy a hobby farm along with through a friend of ours, and so they decided that they would be hobby gentlemen farmers, and so that became my new role. Okay. And so that defined kind of the way I learned to find out how the market works, how and you can actually find out a lot about financial planning even in rubber boots. So.
As you found out?
As I found out. And so that led me to many other things as well, how, with the produce and market flows, capital flows. So I learned so much about that as well. Income tax early on. I had my first RSP at the age of 18. Also diverse background, like you with a musical background, played piano in the Holiday Inn. And so I discovered I really like people, so I need to find something that I can help people with. I like to help them with problem solving and decisions, and how do I do this? And I had people start to ask me when I was in university, I was part of student council, how can I fix this, or how can I plan this? Somebody bought a real estate development already in university, and he became not a cabinet minister, but an MP. Right. So that was my first test case, and I discovered I really do like to plan, and so I took it from there.
Okay. What are the 3 things you would say? If you could pick 3 things that people need to know when they're planning their money, when they're financially planning, what would you advise them?
So the first and foremost is diversification. Diversification is absolutely the key. With the whole issue of pension legislation changed because of Nortel. One of the first people that I started speaking with came in with a portfolio. His whole pension was invested in Nortel stock, and I made the case for diversification. But the issue was, well, I can get these returns with this stock, and you can't match that. Well, you know what? You can match it, but it may not be in the same progression. So my issue is always low risk with a very steady growth rate. So diversification in the pensions and also in sectors and in currency areas. We're a very a global area. So risk is defined in a different perspective. We are, believe it or not, we're connected with China. We're connected with Africa. We're connected with with so many different countries now with currency, so the money flows back and forth. So the multinationals, we need to really be aware that if things happen in other countries, they can impact us here in our portfolios, whether it's up or down in currency.
Okay. So you've listed how many? 1, 2, 3.
Maybe 3. And the other thing is also decision making.
Okay.
Decision making, really to know yourself, to really know your personal financial picture, and how it's defined by any criteria, any timelines that you need to address, as well as like real estate. I had a real estate investor this week invest the proceeds. So for part of it, she needs the proceeds for another real estate transaction. For another portion, it's invested for longer term, and that has to be defined as well. So that's one of the major things.
What other services do you offer?
So the first area that I actually got into was by a friend, was group insurance, and she had introduced me to a whole bunch of groups. So that's not the usual progression, but they opened up a lot of doors for me, and it was actually one of the coalitions for childcare. So that's the first group of people that I got to help, and it was a really wonderful experience.
What do you think about working with children in financial planning? Do you think it should be a part of the educational curriculum?
Absolutely. The earlier you start, the better. I started giving my kids change to count, and of course, when they're young, they're so agreeable and adaptable to learning different things about money. So I would send my son to let him pay for something. And as well,
gives them a sense of responsibility and ownership.
Absolutely, because they discover that they can buy 3 ice creams for the price of 1 if they go over to the frozen yogurt place, which is they need to do that. But and also with clothing and teenagers, if I gave my daughter the responsibility of picking for herself, it was a better choice and a longer term purchase. So the easier, the earlier they start, the better, and then they can understand about how they can contribute to RESPs, and they can get a grant. It gives them a much easier transition into being able to, handle larger amounts of money as well. One of the issues that is coming up now is, how do I teach my children how to inherit money? When do I start? And it's a huge thing, because baby boomers typically have accumulated a lot of money, and so
they're living longer, so they need to have the money for themselves.
Absolutely, longevity is probably one of the biggest issues, as well as healthcare. And so how do I allocate my money, and the necessity for medical care and all the other things. And the kids may be in a sandwich situation where there's two, the older and the younger generation to look after, so it can be quite a heavy burden.
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a challenge. What are the other projects that you're involved in? I know that you do some sessions with some great people in life coaching. You want to talk about that?
Well, in the coaching area, there's retirement planning, and we're also learning about various how financial markets work, and some of the legal technicalities of wills, powers of attorney, elder care, and there's so many responsibilities. One of the things I wanted to mention too is that financial advisors need to do like a due diligence, and the understanding of the investments, how they work, and what the manager brings to the table. That's probably one of the biggest issues. Some portfolio managers, they can help you in more ways. It's something that you really can't do on your own, because they have strategies for risk mitigation. And as I said, it's something that an individual cannot do and cannot replicate. So I just had the opportunity to go to Dallas and hear about some medical discoveries that they're including in this, and it's pretty amazing.
Fantastic. And Sonia, where can people find you?
They can find me at sdolar@simpatico.ca, and I have little brochures out for everybody. I'm with Fundex Investments. Thank you.
Fantastic. Sonia Dolar, everyone. Thank you for, that's okay, spreading the good word of financial planning. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.